Woo! Going on Instagram Live too. Um, so I'm hoping the sound from my uh, lovely computer doesn't run into the Instagram Live as well. So welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. Woo! It is the new moon in Libra. Are you guys ready? Are you prepared? Are you set up? People are like, what are you talking about, Mama? I was watching, what was I watching? I was watching this really good clip. Now, I don't know if might get banned. What else? What else is new? Well, a couple things. There was an eruption from the Big Island in Hawaii. So there was an eruption from the Hawaiian volcano. It was on high alert, but it's not anymore. So that was something new. Our premier came out and went blah 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 blah, whatever, and Joe Rogan came out with a video, and I guess he's getting slammed with it, but came out with it a few days ago. And it's, the coward defends, something about he's not defending, but he's talking about the COVID lockdowns. And I won't play it because I know I'll get banned. Or they won't allow me to do it because whatever property rights and stuff, but that all that kind of bullshit. So the thing is that what he came out, and a lot of people says, well, he said, oh, we're going to be this and we're going to be that, but he didn't. I'll put it up on my Facebook page and you can watch it from a clip, because I watched it through Crowder Bites. And you might not, I mean, he's kind of a crazy guy. He's been sort of almost banned, but not, he's kind of like on the edge, but he comes out with some really good facts and information, and he does a lot of fact checking and make sure that when he puts something up, he says, look at he was just look at Facebook, look at Instagram or whatever, YouTube, this comes from such and such a place. So he does do those checks and stuff, which is what you have to do. But what this moon is coming in to show you is, it is as I said this week, it's a Godzilla versus King Kong. We got Pluto stationary going direct. Now, any of the outer planets, when they are stationary going direct, it's usually 5 days before and 5 days after. We also have Saturn stationary. So we have this energy of the stationary coming through. I'm just pulling out my notes. I did do notes today. So there is this feeling like we're in the trenches. There's that feeling that we're having, that we're in the trenches, that it's but we're not really in the trenches. It's not World War I. So we are not in the trenches, but I mean, you might be feeling like you're in the trenches for some reason, but it is that feeling of having to get up and go up against whatever you're having to go up against. You still got your phone, you still got a toilet. You're still able to go to the fridge and get food. You're able to have a shower. You're not beside anybody who hasn't showered in 5 days. At least I hope not. But this is finding peace in all of this, peace through our standing your truths, peace within your divine. This is about looking into self. And, this is not to dive deep. I mean, Chiron, because this is opposite too with Chiron. And Chiron's retrograde. So it's bringing up a lot of deep wounds. So a lot of deep wounds are coming up and they're coming to the surface. Things are being dug up. So there could be things within you that are being dug up, some of your deep wounds as well. And feeling them. And it's the energies of, I'm looking outside, it's kind of grayish, dim kind of day. But it's that gray causing the reaction. So we have to go into the really good stuff. We have to go into what it is that we want to portray and where we want to stand firm on. And don't be focusing on what you're not getting. Don't be focusing on some of the deep wounds that are going to be coming in. This is a, where Venus is at 29 degrees. And, with Venus at 29 degrees, she's in conjunct almost to the south node in Sag. And that's intensity. I mean, it's this intensity of Venus. Here I am at 29 degrees. Venus is conjuncting my Venus today. Venus is conjuncting my Venus today. So it's intense. And she's also conjunct my Mars. So I got a Venus conjunct Venus with a Mars. So that's intense kind of energy. With the South Node there, about watching where you're getting stuck. For me, watching where I'm going to get stuck. If I am, am I stuck? Might be stuck. Been up since 3:30 this morning, so it's been kind of a crazy kind of day already. But it's the aspects to the nodes of fate. Things are fated. So we got a fated type of energy. So it is what's coming up and what's being seen is showing it has to come up. It is energy that has to come up and bubble up from below the surface. So with Pluto going direct and Saturn over this next week, and so this is going to bring in more intensity when it comes to volcanoes and earthquakes and things shaking up. This is going to be bringing up more of what needs to be pulled out from those roots, from the depths of the underground. And as they come to the surface, this is where, like, there was another a leak on Twitter about somebody from a scientist from Pfizer about your immune system is better than anything. Basically what he's saying, in that if you've had COVID, you have the best immune system against this COVID shit. So this is where it's like information is being revealed. Things are being seen. But here it is. Wake the fuck up, people. Like, I even had I'm going to call her out a little. Anyways, on my Facebook, which is telling me about the vaccine and stuff. But this is where people people need to okay, oh boy. Take a downer, Mary, and breathe. This is where people need to start looking at what the agenda is being pushed upon. And that's why I say this energy that's coming in is trying to show you we have a yod, a finger of God in the sky right now. We have a mystic triangle in the sky right now. We have a grand trine in air. Now, all of this on a new moon, with the moon, sun, and Mars conjunct opposite a Chiron retrograde, Pluto going direct, Venus almost going into Sagittarius. And some of you like, Mama, you just talk this language. I don't know what the hell you mean. It means wake up, because we're in the depths of going in for the fight of our life. If you ever watched Godzilla versus King Kong kind of movies, this is where, yes, King Kong has friends. That's why. I mean, Godzilla is obviously stronger than King Kong, but King Kong has friends, right? And this is a battle. This is a battle of, okay, who's, over territory, over rights, over standing firm to bring in peace, to bring in justice. What kind of relationships? Who do you have with you? Godzilla doesn't have a lot of friends. Seems to have a lot of friends. It looks like he has a lot of friends, but they're all bots. They're not real. They're not real. And this is, coming into where today, and it's a shift. It's a struggle. And we're shifting, and there's a struggle. What is the struggle? The struggle is us coming into our peace. The struggle is us, questioning our divine, questioning where we want to stand firm on. The struggle comes in with the righteous and the justice. That's where part of the struggle is. This is because all of this, comes into, it's like, oh my God, if I don't do this, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose this, and do this. But the more you comply, the more you lose. Should I repeat that? The more you comply, the more you lose. Pluto doesn't comply. Pluto doesn't comply. Saturn doesn't comply. Certainly Mars does not comply. The more you comply, the more you lose. This is where they're coming in and digging things up and getting you to go forward and getting you to get things on the right track. This moon is an awakening. It is a 2.5-year cycle. It has a smaller 30-day cycle, and then it has a 2.5-year cycle. This is where it's shifting. And we are looking at also where this is coming into a midpoint between what happened on December 20th with Jupiter and Saturn at 0 degrees. And that's the midpoint. And there's a midpoint between Pluto and Saturn, which is there. That's being reactivated. That December 20th of 2020 is being reactivated. That midpoint is coming in for us to stand into our light. It's a 20-year cycle. A Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. It's a 20-year cycle. So this is coming in of getting us to enlighten. Now that midpoint of that time too was an 800-year cycle. So here it's activating and saying, hey, which way you guys going? Which way are you going? Are you guys going backwards? Are you repeating what has happened in the past? Or are you wanting to come forward to something better in the future? What are you doing? What is that you are trying to create? Because the new moon is having us take a look at this and having us to say what is working and what isn't, and what do you want to release, because we're going to cut it off, baby. Once it's cut off, it's cut off. We're heading into this direction. And this midpoint is an awakening time. It is an awakening point. This is your future. So this is intense. And we have Venus at 29 degrees Scorpio, semi-square Mars in Libra. So semi-squares are kind of like, they're kind of like an irritation, a pebble in your shoe that you can't get out. So this is about working together. This is about us coming together. There is a continuation of energy that wants us to come together. Yet there is this contentious energy that keeps arising, keeps coming up, that's having us to look at things. So this is about revising. We have Pallas Athena coming in, a beautiful warrior coming in, feminine warrior energy coming in. Revise, actually going on and get through. Going on and getting through. This is us revising, reworking, moving forward. Let us look at. We're going to see a lot of stuff starting to come up and come forward. I mean, from what happened with Facebook being shut, Facebook going down and Instagram going down right after a whistleblower comes out, and all of these other theories are coming out about it. I know what I'm thinking and what I kind of feel. And it was even before other people were pointing it out to me. I'm like, that's just is weird, because this is like a major corporation that works on algorithms and all of the computer shit and stuff. So for them to be down for 6.5 hours, what the hell are they wiping from their computer? What are they doing? And people are like, oh, but he lost something $1 billion. It's not real. It's not like you went into his bank account and it's gone. It wasn't there to begin with. It's not real. That's the thing. It's like, it's not real, people. It's the illusion that they say it's real, so people believe it's real. It's not there. It's not like he can go to the bank and he takes out $6 billion and goes down the street with this wheelbarrow of money. No, it's not real. So it's, I mean, did it hurt him that he couldn't go shopping and buy groceries for his family? No, it didn't stop him from doing anything. Still continued doing what he does and not worrying a fuck about anybody else. So this is where we are stepping into, or stepping forward to, the energies. This is where we're going to find that in the 2.5 year cycle, if you're going to work with a 2.5 year cycle, we have the Cancer opening square next year. And the Cancer opening square next year is July the 6th, 2022. And it's going to be the first quarter in 14 degrees Libra. Then we have the full moon on April 6th of 2023, with it being at 16 degrees, and then the 3/4 square ending in January 2024 at 13 degrees. So we're seeing these numbers 13, 14, about 13 to 16 degrees in there, and those are very vital world points. Those are transformational and change points when you're getting into parts of astrology. So this is also when we're looking into another part of astrology is when we start to divide the sign up. So we have, that is the Aquarius energy. That is the energy for gathering. That's the energy for bringing in people we want to be with. Aquarius energy is about being, who do you want to go to the movies with? Who do you want to have dinner with? Who you're going to have Thanksgiving with? This is Aquarius energy. Who is your groups? Who are the people are you associating with? So here we got, all of this has to do with a lot of relationships that you're going to be working with over the next 2.5 years. Are these the people that you want to be working with? Is this the type of energy that you want to raise and you want to continue with over the next 2.5 years? So we have this energy. This is what sort of a playing theme throughout the last couple years. It's all about relationships, on who we are gathering, who we are following. What are we putting together in order to create our reality? And we have, with the finger of God, which is with the moon and sun and Mars, is the finger. It's the pointy part, point, point, point. So God's pointing. He's pointing at the moon. He's pointing at the sun. He's pointing at Mars and saying, look, look, look. Okay, it's Libra. Libra's what? Justice, relationships, balance. So God's asking, where is this? And at the open end is Uranus and Neptune. So Uranus and Neptune, the crazy lunatics of the planets. Here's Neptune, the connection of God, and even Uranus is considered that of the connection of God, because he's on the other realm. He's on the other belt. And in between that, in the belt between Saturn and Uranus, is Chiron. So there's a lot of healing. There's a lot of symbology that's coming in that's saying, between Uranus and Neptune, what is your connection with your divine? What is your connection with your truth and the peace that you want to have within your life? And it's pointing at the new moon. And how do you want to create this with this darkness inside yourself? And allow for that healing, because we're coming through Chiron. How do we want to heal within the depths of our own selves? And Venus comes in and she says, well, here I am. I'm just about ready to leave Scorpio. Do you have your strategy? Do you know exactly what you want to be doing? So today is a really beautiful day, because we have the energy to really focus on gathering and getting information. May not get all of it. So this is a new vision. This is new ideas. And of course, there is a lot of stuff coming up from the underworld, a lot of stuff oozing up. We had that, oil spill off the coast of California. And Scorpio rules oil, and we have Uranus and Taurus. So we have this energy that's coming in. We also have some other asteroids that are coming in that have to do with death and transformation, death and renewal. Pluto is the phoenix. It is the rising out of the ashes into the newness. Death and resurrection. That is what we're coming into, is death and resurrection. And we are headed in to this like a fireball. And with that mystic triangle, this is about us. Where do you want to play? Where do you want to go? This is about us stepping into this newness. This is an awakening. This is for us rising and coming forth. A lot of emotion today, a lot of emotion, a lot of contentiousness that's coming in. But this is where people have to really start looking in and start seeing, like, excuse me, like all of a sudden on the fucking long weekend, our premier and then Saskatchewan goes under a state of emergency. Doesn't anybody see the trends to all of this fucking bullshit? Like, what do what is this crap that you are trying to create? What is this separation that you're trying to do? Separate families? Basically say that nobody should be around people who don't drink the elixir? Separation. Separation. Libra's not about separation. This isn't about separation. This is Aquarius, the midpoint at 0 degrees. Aquarius is saying, wake the fuck up. This isn't about separation. This is about gathering. This is about community. This is about coming together in unity. Have you seen those videos that are going around with, groups of people in the States gathering, watching football games, NASCAR, all of them. And what are they chanting out there is fuck Biden. Fuck Biden. Like even in both red and blue states, they're all saying this. It's quite hilarious to be watching. I'm waiting for the ones to gather to say, fuck Trudeau. This is what's happening. It's like there are people that are saying, you know what? We don't want to be forced. We don't want to come into separation. We want to come together in unity. But when you, I, me, anybody decides to play the role and abide by some regulations that are when we are becoming complacent to it, there's a trend there. There's a trend. And we have to look at what that trend is. We have to look at what that means. And October, this is only the 6th of October. We're heading into some real doozy of some craziness that if you don't wake up from this, we're heading down some fucked up energy. If you choose that, doesn't have to be. The vibration, the frequency of this new moon is like outrage, like it is high. The frequency is extremely high. So it's pulling us to really come into clarity. It's pulling us to come in to our centeredness. It's pulling us to come into that peace. And it's our ego's going to come in. Our ego's going to play in a lot of this and say, oh, you know what? I'm too tired to do this. This is just too much. Let me just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. Yet, if we stop and we don't want to do this anymore, what about our children? What about our grandchildren? If this is a cycle that's pushing us in for another 2.5 years, what is the 2.5 years you want to see for your future? What does that look like? What does it feel like? I know for me, what I want to step into some real beauty. I want to step into some harmony and love. That's what I want to step into. And I want to create something that is totally unfuckable with. And let's step into that and being unfuckable. That's what we want to step into. Some fabulosa transitional energy. How do we do it? Well, there's work to be done. Spiritual work is not easy. Spiritual work is when you stand in your truth. Whether it doesn't matter on your belief system, but you're standing in truth and you're standing in dignity. If you stand in dignity and respect for yourself, then you're going to have respect for others. But when you don't have respect for yourself, you're not going to have much respect for others. If you stand and you're always thinking of lack and life is handing you a bowl of pits, then what do you think you're going to get when you're going out to find, your community? You're going to find that group that's really going to try and pull you down. This is trying to show us that there are mandates that are coming down, and this new moon is an awakening moon to say, hey, there's going to be some forced mandates, and it's like a separation. Anytime there's a separation, they did it with the blacks. They did it with the Jews during World War II. We do it, we've done it with many different groups. We did it with the Japanese during World War II. We put them in concentration camps in Canada. We did it with the natives, with the children. It's the same fucking thing that's happening now. The only difference is that you still got your house. You still got your TV. You still got all your little comforts. But they're causing fear and dismay to have you believe that that person that you've been with or you know of or you've seen and you've talked to is all of a sudden dirty and dangerous, diseased. Think about it. When people are posting on my Facebook about, oh, you have to, because it's like everything else. It's like all of these other vaccines. I'm not talking about the fucking vaccine. I'm talking about segregation. I'm talking about you being separate and you pushing this upon people. Like, why? The moon's showing me, and Pluto's going to bring up some real heavy duty, crazy shit from the underworld. Are you prepared? Are we prepared? A lot of people aren't. Do they want to hear this message? No, they'd rather stick their head up their ass and not pay attention. And when people come on to my and want to promote the thing, it's like, I'm not going to argue with you. My first thing is like a post that I made, a very nice post, I thought, was a post about not going in fear. And it doesn't matter what's out there. If you're going to step in fear, then fear is what you're going to get. Right? And someone came on, got to find her, who decided to talk about the elixir. And I'm like, what does that have to do? Well, it's my belief system. Well, that's fine. That's your belief system. But what you're also promoting is fear. What you're also promoting is segregation. And you're a person who probably doesn't follow me very much or know what I talk about. And talking about being just in what you are doing and being fair in what you are doing and coming into a place of love is the most important piece of this all. And fear harbors hate. Fear harbors segregation and separation. That's what fear does. And if we are going to go into the fear of separation and hate, it's going to be a long ride that we're on, because we want to come into a place that wants to bring in something more, something different. And that's what we want to do. Of course, I can't find it when I'm looking for it. Oh my goodness. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. But that's with this moon, that's what it's, I mean, if here she is. Little turkey girl. I thought she doesn't show a picture of herself or anything else, But the post I put, just because someone isn't scared of COVID doesn't mean they don't believe it exists. They understand the risk, but choose to live life over fear. Live your life. Don't live your life in separation and push an agenda upon somebody else. This is about living your life and allowing yourself to be and feel like, yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anybody out there. Really, I'm not. I'm not afraid of standing toe to toe with someone. If you want to confront me, let's go. Let's confront me. Let's talk about this. Let's look at some evidence. But my thing is the separation. That's where this moon is coming in. It's like saying, no, no, we don't want separation. That Jupiter Saturn conjunction was ending a cycle, ending a huge cycle for us to come together with unity, not separation. And that's where we want to go. But of course, it raises a whole lot of fear about us and them and us, the Godzilla and the King Kong. We have a choice. We can either engage or not, or do both. Work on a project, work together, work through all the muck and the gunk, or we could sit back and have our popcorn and coffee or tea or whatever you want to drink and watch. We have a choice. This choice is yours. I'm going to send you out with so much news. So much news. And Trudeau just is unveiling something. So more fear is coming in. And of course, on the new moon, more things are going to be set into motion. So stand firm, stand in your love, stand in peace, and allow your light to shine and come together. I got the Beatles song "Come Together" right now. Come together right now. Anyways, I won't sing it to you. But that's where the energies are. It's to come together in unity and peace and love, and step forward into a future that brings in the prosperity and abundance and the health and the wealth and the longevity for all, not just for the few. So may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for standing strong and showing your light. Thank you for being you, because you're the only one in this universe. You're the unique one. Have a blessed one, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Definitely, if you're wanting a new moon reading, get a hold of me. I'm still doing some new moon readings today. And there's a spot left with Passing Through the Veils. So if you're interested in that on the 29th, and then we have the Conjuring class coming up. So have a blessed one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.